we get into the pick'em, because we did have some interesting movement, I'm very close to getting back my second spot. You guys aren't really any closer to catching Niko, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into bench warmer of the week before we get into making our picks. And for bench warmer of the week, I've mentioned them earlier, so I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. The Florida Gators giving up 52 points to Samford. I don't care that you came back and scored 73. You should not have been giving up 52 points. The fact that Dan Mullen still has a job is just the most baffling thing. All I can tell you, and Florida fans, you guys are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Football is a big thing in Florida. I think they care about football more in Tallahassee, more in Miami, more in Boca fucking Raton, where Florida International is, than they care about football in Gainesville right now. Because if they cared about football in Gainesville, Dan Mullins would be on the unemployment line. So the Florida Gators for giving up 52 points to Samford, you guys are the bench warmer of the week. I don't think that there's a question for that one. Your mic's up.
I'm gonna one up you here because this one is just as bad. Because this one I think is worse than yours. The University of Texas lost to Kansas, not in basketball. College basketball is going on right now. They didn't lose to them in college basketball. They lost to them in college football. College football. The Kansas team that has won one game, or maybe it's two, in 5 years. The school that the school that gives no money to their football program and gives it all to their basketball program, you lost to. You know who the real winner of this is? Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt and fucking Tennessee are licking their chops at the chance to play Texas every week because they're going to beat them when they go to the SEC.
Fucking Missouri, too. Missouri's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To Kansas, and look, I would understand basketball. Kansas is a fucking god at basketball, but football, they don't look. Half the students at Kansas didn't even know there's a football game going on Saturday. They were already preparing for the Saturday night basketball game that they had slated at that field house. They didn't know they had a football game going on. And this team that is so much bigger than the Big 12 that is leaving to the SEC loses to this team? Oh my God. That's as bad. That's as bad as a loss as I have ever seen. Like legit, that's horrendous.
I don't know how Sarkisian comes back out of this. Everybody had such high hopes from him coming from Alabama and everything that he did with Mac and Devontae last year. It has not translated, and Texas confirmed, not back. Not back at all. Not close to being back. Horns are down. That's a 15-yard penalty, and that's also Niko's first personal foul of the podcast with the horns down. But yeah, no, I think the only way that I could have topped you with that one is if Samford would have pulled off the upset against Florida in Gainesville. That's the other thing. It was in Gainesville. At least Texas lost on the road. I don't know, but it's terrible.
No one goes.
The biggest thing that happened.
No one does.
The biggest thing that happened at the Kansas football field was 2 years ago when Baker Mayfield grabbed his crotch. That was the biggest thing that happened on that football field.
It's the only thing that's ever happened noteworthy outside of this past week that's happened in that football field.
Maybe I'll take over their job in NCAA. I've been playing the Dynasty. I got to find a new program to breathe life into. I'm resuscitating Tennessee as we speak. But let's go ahead. Let's get into Week 11 of the 2021 FEOTB NFL Pickem. Be sure, if you're not following us on Twitter, follow us at FEOTB Pod. That's where you can vote in the Twitter polls starting every Thursday. I post them pretty much every Thursday morning, but right before the video comes out, and then you guys can watch us go through and make our picks. Quick update on the standings. Like I said, you guys are still ahead of me. I'm very close. I'm getting there. And with the tie that happened in real life, nobody picked a tie. So everybody will just get one tie added onto their records.
I knew there was going to be a tie. I should have picked. I probably wouldn't have picked it that week, but man, I should have picked.
Would you really pick the Steelers and Lions as your tie?
I probably wouldn't have picked that as a tie though.
Do the Bengals and Lions play? That's my pick for a tie.
Yeah, that should have been the one, the hammer.
All right, Niko, you're still number one, 98, 48-1 on the season. You went 6-6-1. Yeah,
terrible 2 weeks.
It's been a rough stretch for you. Been a rough stretch. Not gonna lie. Bench warmers 79, 57, and 10. You guys were 5-7-1 overall this week. And then I am sitting there in third, dead last, bringing up the rear. The caboose. 78, 62-1. I was 7-5-1. So I had the best record of the week, and we all picked the Rams, which looks like we're going to lose at this point because as we're recording, it's 24-7 49ers with 4:38 left in the third quarter. So it's bad for you for two reasons. Kyle Shanahan is not going to get fired, and we're going to lose a game in the Pickem. So bad all the way around.
All the way around.
We got some interesting matchups coming up in this week. There's not really a game where I would say it's a coin flip, but there are, depending on how you feel about certain teams and how they've looked recently. I feel like the last 2 weeks of the season has shuffled everybody's feeling on a whole bunch of teams. The Bills losing to the Jaguars, you're like, is Josh Allen really that good? Did he progress that much? The
Josh
Browns,
Allen is that good.
Well, yes, he is. The Browns waxing the Bengals when they were number one in the division and then kind of turning around and getting, there's a whole lot that's up in the air. So I'm interested to see how these picks are going to go. With that being said, Thursday night football, Patriots going to Hotlanta to take on the Falcons and Matty Ice, the borderline Hall of Famer, Matty Ice. I'm going Patriots because the Patriots know how to beat the Falcons.
I'm going to go with Patriots too. I want to add in a quick side note here because the Falcons did a pretty good job of trolling themselves last week. They were down 28-3 and they posted like, yeah, so you're saying there's a chance. Shout out to whoever's running the Falcons Twitter account because you get kudos for that, for making fun of yourself.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That was a big swing. Yeah, and you connected, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, but you didn't come back, so it really didn't matter. So I'm going to go Patriots here.
Yeah, Patriots all the way. By the way, the last coach to go into Foxborough and lead Cleveland to a win? Bill Belichick.
Wow. I did not know that. That's interesting.
1993, I think. Maybe it was 90. I think they got rid of the Browns in 95. So I think it was 93 or 94. And Nick Saban was the defensive coordinator. It was Bill Belichick as the Browns head coach. They went in to beat the Patriots. Next game up, Bengals Raiders. Bengals coming off a bye, so they couldn't disappoint me. And they're going to Las Vegas, who have had a lot of disappointment this season.
A lot of disappointment.
I'm going to Bengals because they haven't found Zach Taylor's email password yet, is kind of how I'm justifying that.
And John Gruden is suing the NFL. Did you see that over him? And he wants them to release all the emails saying he was a scapegoat and that the NFL needs to release all the information because there'd be a lot of other people on the chopping block right now, which I honestly, why the fuck not do that? But hey, I'm going with your Bengals here. They're gonna hurt me another week. I know they are because
I have that feeling as well. I'm not
confident at all. That Raiders team that played Sunday night. Oh my god!
That Raiders team that played Sunday night.
That's the Raiders I know.
Yes.
That's the Raiders I know.
Yes, if that's the Raider team that we see on Sunday, I'll have a comfortable day. But if it's the Bengals that we saw against the Browns and the Raiders who did they shit pump earlier on in the season? Is that much of an accomplishment now?
No, it's not.
Yeah, so we're both going on the Bengals, but we're both expecting to be hurt in that one. Colts going to Buffalo to play the Bills. I'm going with the Bills after that bounce back win. And then the Colts almost gave up their lead to Jacksonville. The Colts are not fixed. Whatever they say, they're not fixed.
Just give the ball to fucking Jonathan Taylor.
He's a beast.
Please give him the ball. Give him the ball. And I think the Colts could pull this upset off. I'm not going to bet on this game, but I'm going to go with the Bills here, pick them wise. But this is a game I am staying away from because I think the Bills could be a team, the Colts could be a team that just dictate the pace of the game and just run the fucking ball all over this Bills team who is very good on the back half, but not as good on the front and the front seven. And that's why I think the Colts could make this a halfway decent game. Well, could be honestly one of the better games of the week.
Here's the thing. My bookie currently, Indianapolis going to Buffalo. The spread is 7. Indy is +7 at -105. Their money line +270.
I don't know about the money line going
over under 49 points.
Yeah, I mean,
parlay the spread with the over.
Honestly, maybe the under, because if the Colts are smart, you just fucking run the ball. That's what the 49ers, I was watching the first quarter and a half. The 49ers just said, we're just going to run the ball 100 times tonight. And we're going to keep
take the ball out of Jimmy G's hands.
Yeah. Like just run the ball 100 times. And the Colts just take the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands and give it to your workhorse, Jonathan Taylor. It's all you got to do.
Yeah, but Jonathan Taylor's so fast that you still might have a lot of clock left over after he scores. I did not realize how quick he was going through the draft process, but I think they said he hit 31 miles an hour on one of his touchdown runs from the 30-yard line in. That's insane amount of acceleration and an insane amount of speed in the body that's like he's built like a tank. It's just insane. All right. Ravens, Bears. That's enough offensive lineman daydreaming for me. Ravens, Bears. Baltimore, looking to bounce back. I don't know what that was. And the Bears coming off of their bye week. So I don't know. Justin Fields did look better in that last game against the Steelers, but obviously there was a lot of issues still going on. I think that the Bears are the worst coach team in the NFL. I know that
you haven't watched a lot all the Broncos games.
I have. I've watched both, and sometimes most of the time they end up going back to back. Matt Nagy and Vic Fangio should start a fan club of who is the worst in the NFL. And they can invite Nick Sirianni every now and then too. But Matt Nagy,
Urban Meyer into the conversation too.
Urban Meyer's off at some bar finger banging a chick. Matt Nagy can't even get 11 guys on the field. Matt Nagy either has 13 or 10. It's never 11. Matt Nagy's the worst coach in the NFL. I'm going the Ravens for that reason, and I think Lamar Jackson can beat a bad Bears team. But the Bears have no shot the Bears to me have no shot just mainly because of their coaching.
Yeah, I thought the Dolphins had no shot too. And then I realized how piss poor this Ravens defense is. They're fucking terrible on the back half. God, my God, are they bad? Obviously, well, they're missing Marlon Humphrey due to injury, and they're missing players on the back half. My God, this team is fucking bad. If it wasn't for Lamar Jackson, the Ravens right now would be a 3-game under 500 football team, because the Lamar Jackson has solely won this Ravens team half of their games. Solely, they have been down, and I want to say about like 90% of their football games at some point. They were down by double digits. And you lose to a top Dolphins team that doesn't know what they want to do, completely don't know what they want to do. I'm going to go the Bears here because Justin Fields showed me a lot 2 weeks ago. And I think the Bears had a chance or I'm not going to say Matt Nagy had a chance, but I'm going to say Justin Fields had a chance to see how to dice up this Ravens defense, and I think he has his breakout game, and the Bears pull off an upset at home against Baltimore.
I think Calais Campbell eats Justin Fields' heart at midfield. Lions Browns, the Lions coming off of their first non-loss of the 2021 season, and Cleveland got their asses kicked physically and on the scoreboard because Baker Mayfield. It'd be hard pressed to look at Baker Mayfield and go, that guy plays behind the best offensive line in football. He does. He does not look like it right now. He's being held together by rubber bands and chewing gum, and it ain't good. That being said, I think Case Keenum beats the shit out of the Lions because the Lions are just that bad. And hats off to the Steelers and Mason Rudolph for just absolutely doing everything you could not to win a game.
And to make the Lions look good.
Honestly, the Lions didn't. It was just who was going to be worse, and the Steelers did everything that they could to try and be worse. That being said, I'm going with Cleveland at home over the Lions. There's no way I'm picking the Lions.
This is a get back game. This is not the game the Lions on their schedule can get back and win. I don't care who's at quarterback. You just give the ball to Nick Chubb, to Kareem Hunt, who were both out last week, or even fucking to Ernest Johnson, who is still a very good third string running back.
You also still have Jarvis Landry and Donovan Peoples-Jones and
Austin Hooper,
yeah,
David Njoku. Like, fuck.
You guys lost one player. Boo-hoo. You can make it work.
Yeah, you make it.
Case Keenum went to the NFC Championship with Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, and Stephon Diggs. So obviously Case Keenum can do this. Just make sure that you take care of Baker because Baker can't get hit anymore. Baker's taken so much punishment. The fact that he has a cracked humerus and a torn labrum on that non-throwing shoulder, that dude deserves an award just for standing in there on Sundays now.
The only thing that makes me happy about this is Browns fans haven't realized of how badly banged up he is, and that's why he's played this bad. Like, they haven't realized that, and they're not wanting to give him a fat contract this offseason, which makes me happy because maybe he'll hit the market.
Yeah, I mean, if he hits the market and comes to Denver, I think that would be a very good match for them. No, as somebody who's torn their labrum, that's not a very fun injury, especially like trying to play through it. It's not good. That brace sucks to play in. Cracking your humerus and tearing your labrum also adds like a tenth degree of pain to it.
He's had 3 season-ending injuries, and because Browns fans are so incompetent and impatient, he's jogging out there trying to win football games.
I don't know. We're both on the Browns on that one. From all the biggest games to the smallest events, make every bet worth your while with MyBookie. Start doubling your first deposit instantly with MyBookie's first deposit bonus. Double your money before you even place a bet, and all you have to do is sign up and deposit using our exclusive promo code BENCH, BENCH, at mybookie.ag.
There are tons of great games and prop bets to take advantage of this week, but let me point you in the right direction for your first wager. This Sunday, 2 powerhouse offenses beat in Kansas City and Dallas. Boy, is that going to be a fun one. Them boys have been on a tear this season while the Chiefs continue to struggle, but coming off a win, they could be back on track. Take the Cowboys to cover the spread so you can walk away with the bread at MyBookie. Don't wait any longer. Head to MyBookie today to redeem your double deposit bonus so you can get in the game and start winning big today. That's promo code BENCH, BENCH, to receive double your first deposit instantly in your account. No hassle, no wait.
Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. MyBookie.ag, promo code BENCH. Get started today. AFC South, Texans go to the Titans for their first of 2 matchups this season. I'm going with the Titans because I think they look pretty decent against the Saints, but the Texans aren't good enough to beat the Titans.
The Texans aren't good enough to put up more than 10 points against this Titans defense. I pray that David Mills is at quarterback, because if Tyrod Taylor is back or for whatever reason plays this week, I have a bad feeling Jeffrey Simmons might put him right back on the IR.
Yes. Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons is that guy. Jeffrey Simmons has turned this defense from a mediocre squad to a very formidable unit. You got a guy at every level. You got Jeffrey Simmons at the defensive line level. You got Jayon Brown at the linebacker level. You got Kevin Byard at the safety level. You're good. You got Malcolm Butler at your corners. You got studs at every level. So the Titans are in a good spot, and they're moving in a good place.
The only team that seems like they want to win football games and wants to win their division in the AFC.
Up to this point, yes. They are I think they're, other than the Cardinals, they're number one. Yeah, other than the Cardinals, they're the number 1 record in the NFL.
Yeah, other than the Jets game, this Titans team has been very, very solid all throughout the year, and you lost your best player.
Yeah. And well, hopefully he's able to come back down the stretch, but
he will, for the sake of my fantasy football team. That's why.
All right. We're both on the Titans there. We're both going with the boys. Packers, Vikings, next game up. I'm going with the Packers because Rodgers is going to be there. So.
I'm gonna blame that performance from the Packers on the fact that Rodgers didn't practice all week, and that he was cleared for Saturday and practice and threw a couple balls here and there. That's the only reason why I'm taking Green Bay. Vikings aren't ready.
No, and I'm kind of mad that you were able to pick when the Vikings were actually going to win one of their close games, and it ended up not being that close of a game. But I'm not going. This is a game where I'm sticking with the team that won, and I almost went with the other team that kind of screwed me. But no, I remember that it's Kirk Cousins against Aaron Rodgers, and there is a clear difference between those 2 quarterbacks. I don't know if everybody else realized that, but Kirk Cousins is not as good as Aaron Rodgers.
Just a little bit of a difference.
As Baba Yaga. He's not the boogeyman. He's the one you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman. Dolphins going to New Jersey to play the Jets in the Meadowlands. This one was one of those games where I'm like, who's going to show up and be worse? I think Tua is better than Mike White. Therefore, I picked the Dolphins over the Jets.
See, what Mike White did last week, you should have done. The Bengals should have done. That's the Mike White I knew of. That's the whole reason why.
I feel bad about it anyways. Yeah.
I'm going with the Dolphins here. There's I don't care if it's Tua or Brissett. The Dolphins are more talented than the Jets.
There's an interesting.
Not by much, but they are.
Here's an interesting one. Saints going to Philly to play the Eagles. I mean, last 2 weeks, Philly's looked really good on offense. They're starting to figure themselves out, and Jalen Hurts is starting to take over a little bit more of that leadership role. For that reason, and for how they looked against the Broncos, I think that they have the ability to beat the Saints, because I think the Saints and Broncos, maybe not in the same situation because the Saints have better coaching, but for what we're seeing from them, I think that the Saints and Broncos are pretty comparable. So I'm going with the Eagles to beat the Saints at home.
I'm gonna go with the Saints here based upon the fact that Simeon has played very well the last 2 weeks. Look, the Saints were in that Tennessee Titans game. It was a 2-point game. Like they were in that game. So like it's not like it was they came out flat against a bad team. They played a very good team in Tennessee and played very good football. Then 2 weeks ago, obviously they smacked around the Bucks. So like I'm gonna go New Orleans here. Simeon, I guess. I guess Simeon's doable.
You're going with the Messiah.
Yeah, I'm going with the Messiah.
Oh man, that's got to taste like vinegar, knowing that he's still playing
It really
in the league
doesn't.
somewhere else.
It honestly, like it doesn't matter, like to me, where these fucking quarterback carousel for the Broncos that go to. They always perform better elsewhere. It doesn't matter.
That's true. Is that the worst take in Denver sports history, where Mark Schlereth said he wanted to pay him like $40 million to be the quarterback long term?
I mean, fuck. I mean, at this point, it looks better than what we fucking did the last 5 years. That would be at least a little bit of stability. Shit.
Yeah, it does have a point. Next game up, Washington going to Carolina to play the Panthers. Cam Newton in the Panthers. I'm going with Carolina because I didn't pick up on the way things were going last week. And Washington, yes, they beat the Bucks, but I think that was an aberration. And losing their best defensive player, that's not going to help them any. So I think the Panthers have enough to beat the Washington football team this weekend.
I'm going to go Washington here because Heineke looked very, very solid, and they finally got Gibson back into the running game and told him that, we still have a really good running back behind us that we haven't used all season. So they figured that out against the Buccaneers. And Panthers, I think, look, they're going to be starting Cam Newton. They're preparing as the report of Monday saying they're preparing as Cam Newton as a starter. I think maybe it's his homecoming. Maybe it's a little bit of first game jitters. I think I am fully prepared to lose this game. This is a game I'm fully prepared to lose. I think Carolina is going to win because of the performance that Carolina or that they had against Arizona. But for some reason, I think Washington. You got to remember, Ron Rivera homecoming too.
Yeah,
people are forgetting about that too. So Ron Rivera coaching against Cam Newton. That's another thing that no one really knows Cam Newton's play style more than Ron Rivera, and getting a full week of film on Cam Newton could be dangerous.
2 plays of film though.
It's still film, and the guy coached him for 5 years.
The coaching, the former coach thing, I think is big, but I don't think that you can't really watch film of Cam for the last. Well, you can watch film of the last 2 seasons, but it really hasn't been great. Maybe honestly, this kind of seems like a situation where the guy's been kicked around so many times and he finally lands back where in a place where he's comfortable and he might be able to resurge himself a little bit. That's the only thing that I'm kind of thinking of. I think of Randall Cunningham in Minnesota after he got injured in Philadelphia. He winds up there and they go on some kind of run. Do I think the Panthers are going to go on a run? No, but I think the Panthers with McCaffrey and Hubbard, and now with a guy like Cam at quarterback instead of Sam, I see Ghost Darnold. The Panthers are a little bit more formidable than I was giving them credit for before. But no, I think that this game, I'm fully prepared to lose this one as well because I was going back and forth on who I was going to pick anyways. Quick update on Monday Night Football. The Rams are still down. Now they're trailing 24-7.
Yeah, Higbee is now dropping footballs straight in his hands. The Rams, oh my God, the Rams look terrible.
It doesn't look good. But now that leads us to the team that they're playing, the 49ers, going to Jacksonville to take on Urban Meyer and the Jaguars. I'm going 49ers because it's the Jaguars, but I really want
to pick the Jaguars just so I can hope that the 49ers lose all these games. But no, I'm not that stupid. I got to make up this game somehow. So I'm going to go with the 49ers here too because look, 49ers, people forget that how good this offense is. Mm-hmm. George Kittle, Juice Tech, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, who they don't even use really. And you have a 2-headed monster now at running back because you got Jeff Wilson back, and now you have Elijah Mitchell, who's had a very, very solid start to the year. You don't make Jimmy G do a whole lot, and San Francisco is still a very good football team, a very good defensive team. San Francisco may slowly sneak their way into the wild card conversation very, very quietly.
That's bad for you because you want that
Very,
guy as
very
your.
bad for me. Absolutely terrible for me.
I think you're gonna end up with. I think you're more likely to end up with Kellen Moore before you end up with Kyle
You know,
Shanahan.
I'm happy with that too. So I don't hate that at all.
Speaking of which, Kellen Moore and the Cowboys going to Kansas City to take on the resurgent Chiefs. Are they back?
Played the
I
Raiders.
think they still played like shit yesterday, but
And they played the Raiders. The Raiders are. It only took to week 10 now. I don't even know what fucking week we're at. Whatever week we're at, it took the Raiders to finally realize that they're the Oakland Raiders and they're not the Las Vegas Raiders. They realized that, oh, we're that team. Yeah, we gotta be really good at the beginning, beat some teams we shouldn't, and then realize who we are. And Derek Carr go back to where he usually is at the end of the season. And the Chiefs just played at home against the Raiders. That's just a different story. But no, I'm still going the Cowboys here. I'm going the Cowboys here because the Cowboys offense, I think, is the best in football. I talk about a wide receiver, running back, quarterback duo. I don't think there's another one out there that tops the Cowboys, considering their core.
It's a quintet. It's Dak.
Whatever.
It's Dak. It's CeeDee Lamb. It's Amari Cooper. It's Ezekiel Elliott, and it's Tony Pollard. That's quintet. It's five.
And I this Cowboys offense, obviously the Broncos game was the outlier, but the Cowboys offense is fantastic. And if Micah Parsons put Patrick Mahomes on a tee and swing for the fucking fences, it could be bad. It could get real ugly, I think. And this Chiefs team, they haven't seen a linebacker this good all year. They haven't seen and especially an offense this good all year. There is a chance the Cowboys may put up 50. Do we all remember what the Bills did week 2, week 3? And look what they did against fucking Jacksonville. This Chiefs defense is that bad. Mm-hmm. There's a chance the Cowboys could put up 50. I'm serious. Like, because I don't think there's a soul on this Chiefs team Chiefs defense that will be able to stop any of those core guys you just talked about.
No, I think that the Chiefs, they're going to be missing Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher a lot when Micah Parsons comes down and pass rushes on this line. And yeah, their defense, nobody's going to stop. They don't even have to pass in this game. They're just going to be able to turn around and hand it off. So I'm going Dallas as well. Cardinals.
You could argue and say this right now. I know I'm going to take the Broncos game outlier that they just forgot to show up. But I could argue and say the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC right now. And then right now, the best team in the AFC is the Titans. Based upon how these teams are playing right now, I could say that we could be seeing a Titans versus Cowboys Super Bowl. If everything stays the same, which obviously it won't, but there's a chance that right now I could argue and say that those are the two best teams in football.
If you're going with recency being something that you factor in heavily, yes. Because at this point, we're seeing two teams in the Titans and Cowboys that are at the height of their confidence and playing as probably as well as they can. So, yes, I agree with you. The only
obviously things will change.
Yes, things will change, but who's going to be able to weather the storm better? And the Titans have done it before. The Cowboys have one playoff win since 1996. They have one playoff win since 1996. The Titans recently went to the AFC Championship. I would much rather give my confidence to the Titans than the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are a lot better than the Chiefs. So we're both going Cowboys for that one. Cardinals going to Seattle into the Pacific Northwest after getting beat up last weekend. I'm still going with the Cardinals because the Seahawks looked like absolute garbage against the Packers team that didn't look much better, but the Seahawks didn't even score. Russell Wilson did not look comfortable out of his injury at all.
I don't know why, but based upon what the Cardinals did last week and that piss poor performance against Carolina, a team that is barely holding on, struggling to get into a wild card spot right now, I have to go Seattle here because I think, look, there's obviously not having Kyler, not having D-Hop, not having JJ Watt, like all of this comes into play last couple of weeks for the Cardinals. But there's rumors Kyler may be back this week. D-Hop may be back. I think they may be rusty in a 1 week back and going into Seattle where it's very, very loud. And I know Seattle, the team has not looked very good, but I think Russ needed a game back to get his footing. And I think I'm gonna go Seattle here. I don't know why, but I think Seattle could pull it off here.
Anything can happen. So I mean, it's fair to say, but I think I think the Cardinals will bounce back. So we're split on that one. Sunday Night Football: Steelers at the Chargers. Steelers coming off their tie with the Lions, and the Chargers coming off their loss to the Vikings. I don't know. I thought that Herbert had a really down week this past weekend, but honestly, the Steelers look really, really bad. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll stick it out with the Chargers, but this is like my last straw with the Chargers because I picked them the last few weeks and they've been okay. I haven't like won me any money, but they haven't lost me any money at this point. So this is I'm going to put the stakes on them. And if they screw me, and I'll never pick them again. But this is my proof game for the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers over the Steelers.
And it's also because it's the Steelers, let's be honest.
It's very easy to pick against the Steelers. It's always easy.
And likewise to you, it's very easy to pick against the Chargers every week because I know what this team is. I know what this team is. I don't care if you have a generational talent at quarterback. I know what the Chargers are and know who they are deep down inside. Until you win something, until you get to the Super Bowl, then you'll have some sort of you'll have my confidence that you can win games like this. So you get to the Super Bowl, then you'll have confidence because this team and this organization has the biggest dark cloud over a team in probably history ever since the fucking Leaf shit and keep going on and on. Like this franchise has been hurting for so many years, and I don't care how talented Justin Herbert is. I'm going Pittsburgh here because you didn't have Big Ben, and this right now this Chargers offense I think is going to struggle against this Steelers defense. That's the only reason the Steelers defense was the only reason why they're in the football game against the Lions because they kept them in that game. And I think right now if Big Ben comes back as hobbled as he is, and you get Najee Harris back healthy too, fully healthy back, I think the Steelers are just going to run the ball all over the Chargers here.
I'm looking up real quick here. TJ Watt is listed as questionable. Joe Hayden also listed as questionable, and Minkah Fitzpatrick for this game has been ruled out.
Well, then I'm completely wrong, but I'm still not picking the Charger. So
yeah,
my reasoning behind it is completely false, but I'm not changing my pick because it's the Chargers.
I was only thinking because that was one of the games I turned on the Red Zone channel, and it was that game, and I remember seeing TJ Watt get taken off and put under the medical tent, and I remember saying "fuck" because I love watching the guys that are the best at their position play, and TJ Watt is the best linebacker in football right now. So it sucks to see him down. Hopefully, if he plays, if it's just him that plays, he gives the Steelers that much better of a chance to win. But I'm going to stick with my pick as well. The Chargers are my pick. You're going with the Steelers. That leaves us with Monday Night Football. Giants at Tampa. Do the Bucs bounce back, or does Danny Dimes get the biggest win of his career?
Is Eli coming off of Monday Night Manning? Is he playing out there? Because that's the only chance this Giants team has against beating this team. I look, they may get Saquon back, they may get Sterling Shepard back, they may get all these players back. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The Buccaneers, yes, they've struggled the past 2 weeks. They lost to two teams they shouldn't have. But look, it's still Tom Brady, and it's still and he fucking hates playing the Giants. And you think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder? I think this could be an absolute bloodbath. I don't know if there's a Monday Night Manning cast that for next week. Man, I'm just
I believe there is. I think they're coming back for next week.
They're probably because they had it this week, and they're smart. There wasn't a football player on there. The only athlete they had on there was Draymond Green, and as you're listening to this, the game already happened. But I guarantee you the Warriors lost to the Brooklyn Nets on Tuesday night because the Manning curse is real. So maybe the Bucks pull it off because Eli is on the call. I don't know, but I'm going Tampa Bay. If I lose that, then I won't lose sleep.
Let's see, because Saquon is listed as questionable along with Sterling Shepard and our boy, good old Devontae Booker. So, yeah, the Giants are coming in very, very depleted. That one just made me even more solidified in my pick of Tampa Bay. But now that is going to be the end of Week 11 of the Far End of the Bench Pick'em. Be sure to vote starting on Thursday at FEOTB Pod. And be sure to vote in all the polls. The bench warmers, you guys got to hold on to your spot. You almost gave it back to me in 1 week. You almost pulled an Iowa we ranked you number 2, and then you shit down your leg. Almost, not quite, but almost. And I'm gonna catch Niko. That's my goal for the rest of the season, is to at least always have a better weekly record than Niko does down the stretch. But be sure to vote at FEOTB Pod.
I'm pretty sure you can beat me every single week, but unless you like dominate me every single week, it's still gonna, you have to beat me every single week.
I'm not saying pass you. I'm just saying make you sweat a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I think that I've let myself go to the point where I don't know if I could pass you unless you lose all the games in one week, and that doesn't really happen all that often, but I'll make it close. I'll make it interesting. I promise you that.